You have a 07, right?
I have an 07 and I have a 96 when I want to pick a cam, a torque cam.
Yeah.
Because I do allow 2 up and I have a bagger. But I'm also interested in putting a cam in that if I want to go to a 103.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to need to change the cam again?
It's going to be kind of a, you know, I thought about an Andrews 26.
Yeah.
You know.
I really don't know a lot of the aftermarket cams on their specs, or don't really do a lot of them unless it's gear drive.
It's the 253. I think you're not going to see great.
253 is. I don't think I've ever used it.
It's the 253. It's the 538 left. It's, you know, if you're doing on the 96, you're not going to see a lot of improvement on it, just because it's still not, you know, getting. It's going to be more of a high-end cam at that point. But then once you do go to the bigger jugs and everything, then you'll see the power come down a little bit more. You'll get more of the torque out of it.
So 211 maybe?
211s are, honestly, in our experience, we found that 211 is probably one of the best cams you can get.
It's the best all around.
When I did the research on it, especially when you're doing heads,
yep,
you know, doing the head work with them, they're unbelievable. You can get so
we've seen results across the board on 211s.
Now, Timmy, if you went with a
you
get really good.
Say if you went with a 251, if he's talking about going to a 103.
Yeah.
If we went with a 251.
That's good, but then he's going to suffer. He's going to suffer while he's still the 96, though. But yeah,
oh, I thought he said he was going to go to 103.
Yeah, but he wants a cam now for you know.
Oh, you want a cam for a 96.
And then also that way when he goes up to the 103, he doesn't need to change the cam again. So, but yeah, no, absolutely. The 251's a great cam, but 211 for across the board performance, yeah,
211 also for an upgrade to a 103.
Yep.
Yep.
We've seen
everything.
We've seen great results from, you know.
I had a 211 in my 08 street light. Let me tell you what. You can ask these guys.
You got 211s
They woke it up.
You got 211s in the Fat Boy too.
I got a 95-inch Fat Boy with a 211 in it, and I had a 96 with a 211 in it.
What other work did you have done? Nothing else? Just
not on the 96. We
stock
put cams in it. We put Reinhardt exhaust cams in the tuner, and
it made pretty good power.
It went up big time. It went up.
It
went up. I think what was it?
I did my research, and that's what I came up with.
I think it went up 8 on the horse, and I think the torque was up around 17, 18 on the torque. It went up. So.
And then on your Fat Boy, that turned out.
Oh, the Fat Boy.
That made big power.
That was almost 100 something, wasn't it?
It made 92 or something.
Yeah, 92, and it was 99. It was 99.6 on the torque.
Yeah,
just 100, just 4 points short of us.
So, yeah, 211s are.
What sauce did you have on that one?
I got Vance Hines on that one.
The
long shot,
short stacks,
big shot staggers,
stagger cuts.
Yeah.
So.
And then on my 110, we're gonna throw a set of 260s in there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because the heads are already done on the new 2010 CVO. I just got a 2010 CVO streetlight from TSI. And what did we decide to? We're gonna go with 260s.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do compression too?
No.
You're not gonna do pistons?
No. We're just gonna throw the cams in because the heads. It's got the new style heads already on this the 10.
What'd it come with? 255s?
250.
Yeah, 110s come with 255s.
Yeah.
With the stage 1 kit.
Yeah. So
you're stepping it up.
Yeah, it's gonna open it up on the bottom and in the middle.
The 255s have a fairly short duration. The big thing you want to get into actual torque and closing.
Where you see, like, everyone talks about lift and stuff, and that's, you know, it's good, but what you really want to look at and first thing I want to say is there's no like be all end all description of cams. Like, it's not like if this is where it is, this is the power it's going to make, because like we were saying, with, you know, certain cams will give you certain results with certain engine packages and exhaust and stuff. But one of the most important things to look at are the timing characteristics. More importantly, the closing of the intake valve, because what that's doing is allowing more of the air fuel in and allowing you to run different engine combinations. If your intake valve closes early on, after top dead center, if you have, actually it's after bottom dead center. If you open up the Scream Eagle book, there's a little diagram on there, so if you're not sure what I'm talking about here. But what you're doing, if you're actually leaving the intake open while the piston is still coming up on the compression stroke. So if you close that earlier, you're getting more compression. So if you're running a higher compression ratio, like you're running 10 1/4, you're going to want a cam that keeps the valve open a little bit longer, so you're not pinging and everything. You're getting, you're allowing the engine to let all that intake, you know, the air fuel mixture, which has got a lot of inertia, letting all that in there and just jamming that cylinder full. That's why the bigger cams work better at higher RPMs, because you're getting more of that vacuum in, and you're creating more inertia for that to come in and just jamming that cylinder full. Another thing that you want to look at is the overlap. Overlap's really good, because what that means is both your exhaust valve and your intake valve are open at the same time. What that does is the exhaust is actually helping pull the intake in, and the intake is helping push all the spent gases out. So you're actually going to get a little bit of the intake go right out, and then vice versa. Some of it's going to stay in there. That's where your exhaust comes into play. If you have the wrong cam for the exhaust, you're going to get what's called reversion, which is when the exhaust pulse is actually pushing your intake back out through the carburetor. When you'll see a lot of times, if that's happening, you'll get the fogging and stuff coming out. You'll get a lot of coughing out the air cleaner sometimes.
That basically happens from using not a free-flowing enough exhaust on a big inch motor.
It's like a Reinhardt.
Big inch, big
You
cam
can't
motor.
release the.
Yeah,
you
a
can't
Reinhardt's a
release the
free-flowing
exhaust.
muffler.
Yeah.
But
So-
using like a Screaming Eagle 50 state muffler with a big inch, big cam, it's gonna create reversion, and the bike's not gonna
Yeah,
run
you
right.
want
It's
that.
not
It's
gonna
basically,
run.
it's basically choking it out.
Backing up.
Yeah,
on
it's
it.
choked up.
Just backed right
So
up.
Yep.
in Harley, for emissions,
Yep.
they'll want to reduce the overlap for emission
Yep, that's,
purposes, right?
it'll show
That's
you,
why-
there's a stock cam, and it shows right in there, the overlap is